slippery here. 9:27. Okay. Even about an hour later than usual tonight. Go by here without slipping. Driveway's all icy. Okay, let's see what we got tonight as we leave. Yeah, raining tonight. So you're gonna see here as I'm going by this place here, first of all, you had the people on the left side coming out and doing the coughing thing, the fake cough thing. Now as I come down the street, continue on down the street, you're gonna see that right as I get to this place here, the door just flings open and this guy comes out and just glares at me on the front porch. So take a look at this. He just comes right out and just glares ominously and just stands there glaring at me. Comes out with perfect synchronization. The audio cut out here briefly, so that's why I had to overdub the commentary here, but yeah, you'll see he just comes out and just glares. So obvious, and it's supposed to be made obvious for the target so that the target will recognize it and recognize that he's been obviously approached and, you know, fed slander and told, you know, to do these things when I go by on my way to work. So you'll see this creep comes out and just glares at me with perfect timing the moment I pass by there. Yeah, so pretty obvious there. Again, right as I leave, you go by that one place, person comes out and does the fake contrived cough. It's done as a sensitization to let the target know. They'll have all the people around you doing it and stuff like that. They have people at my workplace doing it too. And again, if you see that from the outside, right, if you see one person doing that, you can say, well, yeah, people cough sometimes, but it's a contrived, you can tell it's contrived. It's like like a grunting noise most of the time. Sometimes they'll have them do it in a little bit louder manner, but if you see that over and over again everywhere someone goes, it becomes very, very obvious, and that people all around them are doing it, so they're told to do that. And it's supposed to be done as a means of like tipping the person who they're targeting off. That obviously these people have been told things about you, right? So that guy there came outside, he's been told whatever, some horrible thing, that this is like a terrorist or whatever, and you know, you're coming outside and coughing is gonna help. And you got to be pretty dumb not to question that, right? You got to be pretty slow to just say, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll go outside and stand there and cough as he goes by. Like, well, you got to be slow, but also I think there's, in some cases, they're paid to do it, right? So they won't question it, and so that's another reason why they can get them to do things like that. But yeah, so they got people doing that a lot, the fake cough sensitization. And you get used to hearing that anyway. It's no big deal. It's just that, you know, people cough regularly, and that's why they use it, because it's supposed to be it's something that just can be dismissed as generic, and you know, people do that all the time. That's why they use it. And they're told specifically, if you say anything about them doing that, they're told to say, oh, that's crazy, etc. But it's not. If you see the patterns and you see it all the time and see how they do it right as they're near you and wait till they do it right when they're near you, you can see it's clearly coordinated, and they're told to do it. So I'll show some more of that if I can, if and when I can. They don't do it all the time. There's certain periods where they'll stop having them do it for a while, I've noticed, and then they'll get back to it, and it'll happen for, you know, maybe, I don't know, like a month or something like that, and then they'll kind of ease off with that and try something different. Because the thing is, if they do it all the time, continually, with that type of thing, the target is just going to become eventually just desensitized to it, because they hear it all the time continually, as opposed to sensitized, where, yeah, like, okay, they're going to hear it all the time, but if it's all the time for, like, say, a year, they're going to build up defense mechanisms to just brush that aside, right? But if they start it for a while, then stop it again, then start it again, it's a little bit more effective. That's fine. Don't worry. Watch now, they're starting to move. The moment I leave, look at this. The moment I step out, look at this. See? Look at this here, coming down. As soon as I walked out of the driveway, he starts driving down toward me. Anyway, up here on the left, keep a lookout. They're going to see these people probably coming outside, or this big tall oaf in this house here. See them now? Okay, so they turned in as soon as I left. But they moved the vehicle the moment I started to go. So watch over here. Watch this house on the left side of the street. You're going to see them come outside probably. Each night as I leave for work, the same thing pretty much occurs, although sometimes I go the other way. So let's see here. Okay, so they're not coming. Maybe they're not coming out tonight. Yeah, they're not coming out tonight. Funny how they did that for like 5 consecutive months. And now suddenly they're just not coming out because I'm not going up that way as much. So now we're going to go this way. We're probably going to see the cops up here. It's not like they have any legitimate work to do. They don't do legitimate work here. And as I said before, the cops here are so dumb and incompetent that you could have like 10-year-old children who are more capable of doing the job than they are. But they don't do the job anyway. It's not like they uphold the law here. They degrade and embarrass themselves, and are allowed to do so because of, I don't even know, I tried to do a search for who the police chief of this dump was. So another thing that the police here in Gatineau do is they work with criminal biker gangs who are drug dealers. They work with drug dealers as well. There's a one headlight right there, you can see that? Completely off, his left light there. His left side, my right. So last night while I was at work, we had no less than 11, I couldn't record it because, well, for reasons I'll go into later, but we had no less than 11 police cars coming past, driving around and around my workplace, attending to nothing. Everything else in the area was completely quiet, and they continually drove around and around the area. Then when I came back from my break, they set up a fake event across the street, flashing their lights with one of the citizen operatives who they often set up, fake things with, pretending that they had something legitimate when everything else was completely quiet there, and they supposedly just had to pull someone over right across from my workplace. So that was last night going into this morning. So up to their old activities. That's a lot of activity last night. A lot of activity. And then also they sent an ambulance. We'll say that. I caught footage of it. I'm not gonna say that because I'm not supposed to catch footage while I'm at work because of privacy issues within the building there. But it's getting to the point where it's overt harassment, and they're doing it intentionally because they know that they can get the people there to say, you're not supposed to be having a camera on inside the building, which, due to their privacy, their guidelines, okay, that's true, but when it comes to harassment going on, you should be able to document that. And so right now I'm being prevented from doing that while they harass me and send threatening and intimidating messages while I'm at my job. Those people don't do any real work at all. They don't deter crime at all. There's simply, literally 11 different cars last night to stalk a law-abiding citizen who's done nothing wrong while he tries to do his job. So we're going to name some of these creeps today. We're going to have this Ottawa police chief, a lot of stuff about him out this weekend. The sick psychopath who's enabling some of these things. Of course, he gets orders from above too.
done by higher-ups, planned by higher-ups. He just is a useful idiot who follows instructions. And a fraud mason as well, like all of these people. So that's why he's in his position. Due to his willingness to go along with corrupt activities like this, lack of moral foundation, and that's why he's in his position. So we're going to get some stuff out on him this weekend. And just like the creep sociopath Paul Hutt, who enables the fire department stalkers in Ottawa, we're going to see to it that the police chief, some information is released on him, that his face is put out there to match with the activities that he's involved in. And it doesn't matter whether they continue to do it, because each time they continue to do it, the double down, triple down, just like I did in Toronto, I'm going to continue to expose it. So they're not going to stop me from exposing it. And I just have more and more evidence, and it shows how guilty these criminals are. I have a right to go to my job without these sick people harassing me at my job. And on top of that, they have stuff going on internally. I'm not going to go into too much of that, to attempt to sabotage things at my job, the same as they did in other places. So you know what this is about if you're targeted by this program. And this is what they're doing here. So same stuff, different day. But again, you got to be active, and you do not just accept these things at all, because that's what they want you to do. They may ease off if you just accept them. I'm not going to do that ever accept these things. Always going to continue to expose the people involved in it, even if nothing ever comes of it. Well, in reality, I know something positive has already come of it, many different ways. So they just, part of the psychological operation is they want to make you think that it isn't effective. It is. Exposing the police and these creep fire department people and the first responders is effective. It's what they don't want you to do. And that's why all of the funded fraud agents are paid to talk about unreal, ridiculous things like aliens, V2K, synthetic telepathy, and not focus on real, provable things by providing concrete evidence and showing the patterns of these sick sociopaths in these institutions we're supposed to trust. Because all of these institutions have been infiltrated, and anyone who's decent and has a conscience would not take part in these things and would have left any of those organizations by now, and most of them have. So if there are any of them remaining, they're remaining silent about it. And they remain silent about it because of the fear of the reprisals. They themselves could be put on a list if they speak out about it. But you know what? It is what it is, right? Another day. I gotta go in here to Ottawa, or to a grocery store here. They know where I'm going, so they'll have probably some stupidity set up here. It's alright, I've already seen enough for the last night anyway of this nonsense. Right as I arrive at the intersection, they didn't get there to synchronize it in time though, but you see. Let's see if we can get their faces. Yeah, smirk on the guy's face too. And you see the occult serpent logo there on the ambulance as well. They have it on all of them. Look at this. Just leaving them? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the timing, yeah. See that? Literally as soon as I step out the door, you see that. going for a quick walk here. And, oh yeah, now we're those folks on the left side. We're seeing them coming out now too. Looks like anyway. Let's see here. And another one coming behind me now. Can't really walk on the sidewalk because it's all snowed over here. Yeah, coming out right now too. Haven't seen these folks in a while. You got the red jacket on there. Surprise, surprise. And listen to here if you see they're coughing. Standing outside, creepily as usual. They just had to come out and have a smoke just as I'm going. I hear the coughing. Just as I'm going. Yeah, they sent him out. They hadn't used them in a little while. That big oafish looking, clownish guy with the red shirt there. So you saw the neighbors coming out as soon as I opened the door and stepped outside, and you see the usual creep stalkers from that house there stepping out with his red shirt on and his Bozo the Clown looking facial features with that puffy fro-ish mess upon his vapid empty head. Let's see if he's there when I go back as well. You heard him do the cough, I think, the fake cough as I passed. Wonder what that's like if you're like, okay, so clearly as soon as I put my coat on, right, they're getting a text message. So wherever he is in the house, he has to come down. And maybe it's not, maybe it's whoever's there, whoever's available, because it's not always that guy specifically, but it's someone from that house that will come down. So, but yeah, he'll get a text, and then the requirement will be that he whatever he's doing, he drop it and go outside, because I'm coming out, going for a walk. Seems normal, right? Seems normal, for sure.